Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Hello, howdy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you can tell, still no audio, no intro, no outro, because I'm just a lazy piece of crap. I'm just lazy. I'd like to say I have a better excuse, but sadly I do not. That's just it. There you go. Take it or leave it. It's just what I have to offer. I have been lazy. I've been lazy about that. I have not been lazy as a whole. The reason I've been lazy about doing my intro and outro is because I've been so busy trying to take care of other things. And unfortunately, I did not prioritize this as being, above those other things, which I should do. I mean, if I'm going to make this a living, I feel I need to do it. But if I'm just doing it for fun, then more like a journal, then I kind of don't really feel the need. If I start picking up a lot more speed, although I am incredibly, incredibly grateful to everybody listening and the people that have been listening and tuning in. I am so ginormously, genuinely, wholeheartedly grateful. I'm just saying that if I, got a lot more followers, a lot more people subscribing and listening, then I'd probably put more effort into the sound quality and stuff. Maybe people be like, oh yeah, Courtney, well, if you put more effort into the sound quality, then I would be listening more. But I did say at the very, very beginning, and it does say in the description that the sound quality is crap. I mean, I admit it. I'm like, listen, it's crap. I don't use anything great. You hear everything. So, I do make it clear. But I at least had an intro and an outro. So I know I need to do it because it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg. It's like if I used to have an intro and outro, and I feel like people would probably listen more if I did. But at the same time, I feel like if people listened more, I'd put more effort into it. So I kind of sound like I'm being an ass. I'm being like, well, if you do. I'm just saying I didn't prioritize. I'm sorry. I won't make excuses. It's not your fault. I'm not putting the blame on you. The blame is solely on me. I sounded like I was putting the blame on you, and I'm not trying to. It's my fault. I'm a lazy piece of crap. Okay? I'm tired. Anyway, hey, that was a long-ass introduction. In case you didn't know, yes, you are listening to the Ramblings of an Insomniac still. And I am Courtney, and hello. I want to stress that I welcome every single person from every background. If you are not hurting people, if you are not condoning and promoting violence, if you're not going around actively promoting violence on others and you're not doing illegal things, you're not harming children and animals, people. I don't want you to be committing murder and doing illegal things, but I accept everybody. And if you have done an illegal thing in the past, as long as it wasn't, harming children and animals and, killing somebody, hey. Well, then there's people, though, that maybe it was a manslaughter kind of thing and it's still bad. I'm not condoning it, not saying it's good, but maybe they weren't intentional. It's complicated. Here's what I'm trying to say. You are all welcome here. I welcome everybody. Just, don't do illegal things that can hurt others or kill others, okay? Or other beings like animals. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, I don't care what color hair you have. I don't care how long it is. I don't care if you're a male or female or what you identify as. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what your political background is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is, your religion is. Just don't be a dick, Don't make claims and then not have anything to back it up. If you're going to make a claim, admit that it's a claim, that it's just something that you think, it's your thought, it's your opinion, it's your belief. Okay, everybody has those. You're entitled to them. Of course you are. But don't go around making claims and then pretending they're facts. And don't go around misquoting people or taking things out of context and acting like that's what someone said, and then basing your entire argument on something that isn't even accurate, That's silly. It's silly, you silly goose. Don't do it. All right. Anyway, what has been keeping me up? What's been preventing me from sleeping? A couple of things. I had posted a video saying Happy Tuesday, and I was saying Happy Tuesday, and everybody out there that's going to work and getting up every day and going to work no matter how tired you are, or if you're suffering from anxiety, or maybe you're grieving or you're stressed or whatever, but you're still getting up. And despite the fact that half of your money isn't even going to you, it's all going to bills and to people that aren't even trying to work, people that aren't working at all, and to illegal immigrants. And that's all I said. I said people that aren't working or trying to work or even, trying to participate or contribute, and illegal immigrants. I didn't put race. I didn't attach or assign a race to that. I just said people. And I got several people telling me that I was a racist, bigot, horrible human being that they never wanted to see again, and that brown-skinned people this and brown-skinned people that. And I was like, wait, hold up. I never mentioned anything about race. So are you saying that brown-skinned people don't contribute? Are you saying that brown-skinned people don't work and aren't trying to work? Are you saying that illegal immigrants are all brown-skinned people? That's what you're saying. You're saying, wait, brown-skinned people this, brown-skinned people that. I never mentioned anything about brown-skinned or yellow-skinned or white or any race. That was a you thing. And then when I said that, when I was like, who mentioned anything about brown skin? You just did, while calling me a racist. You attached race to something that I didn't, while calling me a racist. Weird, right? A little weird. And then they thought they were so clever that they made a video of my video, like they attached one of my comments, and then made a whole video about it. And then he proceeded to say that the rich pay the least amount in taxes, and then proceeded to say that farmers make this absorbent amount of money. And I presented him with facts, which are the opposite of that. Farmers a lot of times make negative, like they end up making nothing half the time, or just barely breaking even. And actually 1% of the population pays like 30 to 40% in taxes. So the wealthy people pay the most amount in taxes. That's just a fact. And then he was like, well, they get all these tax breaks. Well, like Trump said, then do something about it. Also, the people that get tax breaks are those that get earned income credit when they're not even working. They're not paying into taxes. The people that are sitting at home, I understand sitting at home, like I've said over and over in all of my podcasts. I don't have a problem with people using assistance if you are actively trying to get a job. If you are at home and you're a stay-at-home mom and you're trying everything you can to take care of your kids, and you know your partner is working and you're trying to like take care of the kids right now, I don't have a problem with any of that. And even if I did, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But if you are staying at home and you're getting help with food stamps and with health care, and then you're not paying any taxes, and then at the end of the year you're getting taxes back, that's, to me, it sucks. I'm not saying, again, I want people to be able to get help if they need it, but I'm talking about those that aren't even trying. That's just what they want to do, is live off the system their entire life. They don't even want to try to work or contribute at all. Those people are not paying out anything in taxes, and they aren't contributing, And they're also not only not getting taxes taken out because they're not working, but they're getting earned income back if they have kids. So they're getting my money back. And I do have a right to be upset by that, because if you don't have a problem giving strangers money to help with their bills, then come help me out. Then put your money where your mouth is. Then come to my door. We'll go meet somewhere and you can give me your money and you can start paying for my health care, because I don't have any. And I'm not rich and I'm not middle class. I'm on the lower income. The problem is I'm on the higher side of the low income, which means I don't qualify for anything, but I get a shit ton of my taxes taken out. And I still somehow owe $900. So how's that work? Yeah. So I don't like it when people don't have common sense. It's frustrating. And it gets frustrating when it's year after year after year, comment after comment. Anyway, same words though. It's like they have this playbook where all they can do is call you names. Because if you aren't educated, then you don't have anything, I guess. And God knows, I don't think I'm the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't think I'm some genius. I don't think I'm a rocket scientist. But I have common sense and I'm not stupid. And I have an above average IQ. I don't think, though, I'm the most intelligent person in the world. And I can tell you that if I'm wrong, I don't have a problem admitting it. It sucks. I don't like it. It's not fun, but I do it. And if I'm not educated on something, I'll admit it. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, enough with that. I got to tell you, what's really keeping me up is I wish I could go back and spend time with my mom and tell her I'm sorry for 101 things. It really sucks when you have a complicated relationship with somebody and you get along really well, but then you also fight just as hard and or you're just as stubborn and you have kind of a complicated relationship and then they're gone and you start doing the whole thing where you look back and you replay certain conversations and scenarios and you're like, wow, I was out of line and I thought I knew so much. I thought I had all the answers and instead I was just a fucking snot-nosed brat, you know? And we all do it. We all think at some point in our lives that we have all the answers and we have it figured out and that we're the smartest person in the room. And, you know, what's that saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I don't remember who said that, but I know that's a quote. It's sad when people want to spend time with people that they feel aren't as intelligent as they are, because they want to feel superior and they want to feel like they're, you know, looked up to, and they want the attention and they want the accolades. And, you know, don't we all want credit? Of course, we all, you know, want to hear how smart we are. We want to hear compliments. Of course, we all do. At some point in our lives, we all want to hear compliments. But if you're hanging out intentionally with people that aren't as smart as you just so you can feel better about yourself, that's kind of sad. And when we're young, though, our parents, they're not always right because they're humans. Sometimes parents are wrong. Just because you're older doesn't mean that you're wiser. You know, sometimes older, you still are just as dumb as you were when you were younger. Sometimes people don't learn a dang thing. And some people just genuinely have low IQs. But more often than not, I feel we just don't really listen to what our parents tell us, what our grandparents tell us, or what people that are older than us that have, you know, maybe worked in a certain business longer than we have, or maybe has experienced just something longer than we have and we think we know more. Just because we haven't experienced it as long or haven't been maybe in business as long as someone else. Sure, that doesn't mean that we don't know anything at all, but experience has value. And grandparents being on this earth longer than us and parents being on this earth longer than us has value. And it does mean that they've been around longer and seen more, and therefore, have become kind of street smart and have maybe educated themselves more. And yet we just think we know everything. And sometimes we treat our parents like garbage because we think that we're just so effing cool, and that our generation is so much better. And I don't know. I've just been spending way too much time looking back at the stupid arguments I've had with my mom, and they were so stupid. They were so petty. They were useless. It just wasted time. And now I would kill to have that time back. I would kill to just see her again. And I'm still pissed. The whole reason that I started this podcast, the entire reason I started this podcast, was to bring attention to the fact that we don't treat our senior citizens well and how poorly we just cast them aside. We just genuinely cast them aside, and we make them sell homes that they have worked their fingers to the bone for, paid off with their own blood, sweat, and tears. And we just rip it away and go, you know what? If you want a place to live, if you want food, if you want someone to take care of you, then it's going to cost you your house that you already paid taxes on, that you've already worked hard for, that you already paid off. That's what's happened to my grandparents, and that is what happened to my mom and dad. Both of their homes were paid off, and both of it went to the government to be able to care for them. And that is some serious fucking bullshit. And Democrats during COVID really screwed up and really kept people that were in assisted living and nursing homes, people that were in memory care, kept family members away. They made people die alone and scared. My mom being one of them. Again, that's why I started this podcast, because of Democrats having blood on their hands. They kept so many family members away from their loved ones, and people had to die alone and scared to death. Die in hospitals, die in memory care, die in assisted living. People had to look through glass at their loved ones, had to look through a phone and during FaceTime through a computer. That doesn't replace touch. And I've worked in memory care. I've worked in assisted living. And I can tell you that having community time and being social for a senior citizen that is in care, they need to be social. They need to be able to go out and visit with the other residents and do activities. Keeps their brain smart, keeps sharp. It keeps them, it keeps residents happy and healthy. And, like I said, keeps their brain sharp. Clearly, my brain is not sharp right now. I'm tired, but it's just incredibly frustrating that we just don't listen to our elders. We don't pay attention to anything they say, and we act like everything they say is so old school. What the fuck is wrong with old school? If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's broken, by all means, try to tweak it. But why do we have to overshoot everything? It's like the compensation. It's like when a guy has a little boop boop and they have to, act all tough. The short man syndrome, or when you have, or when you have a little and you have to overcompensate. People don't need to overcompensate. Why do we have to complicate everything and overcompensate? Why? Why do we have to fix shit that's not broken? Why aren't we ever just happy and content? It's okay to want more if you're trying to, be a better person, help others. If you want more money, there's nothing wrong with that. But why does everything have to be faster? More? I got my mom completely ripped away from me. And when she could use the phone before her dementia, when she could still remember my number and dial the numbers, she would tell me how scared she was. And she would beg me to come visit her. And Kate Brown was governor at the time and refused, didn't allow people. And then my mom couldn't use the phone anymore. Her dementia got so bad she couldn't use the phone. So then some of the caregivers would put the phone up to her ear and we would talk. And again, she would tell me how scared she was and how she wanted me to visit her. And she would kind of go in and out. And I didn't get to see her, and I didn't get to be with her. I didn't get to comfort her. I didn't get to hold her and touch her and hug her. I didn't get to look into her eyes. I didn't get to tell her it was going to be okay. And I'm not the only one. So many people had to deal with that because of the Democrat that was in office, the president at the time, and his cronies refused also we were censored. Admittedly, don't effing say that we weren't, because it's been exposed. The truth has come out. You don't get to argue facts. I'm sick and tired of people arguing a fact. It's called a fact for a reason, because it's not an opinion. Easy as that. It's a fact that any type of actual factual information about COVID, about masks, about the vaccination was censored. Anything that said something against what Biden said or the Democrats were saying was censored. Doctors and nurses and psychiatrists and anybody that knew, biologists, all censored. Scientists, censored. And psychologists that talked about how bad it was for people to be quarantined and how bad it was for dementia patients and just people in general, censored. And we're just walking around acting like Democrats didn't do that. We need to constantly remind them of this, like they constantly like to remind people of slavery, that, by the way, they're the ones that were so on board with. They were so pro-slavery. They really, really, really were adamant that Black people were oppressed and continued to be oppressed and continue to be oppressed and work on their property and clean for them and care for them, that they decided to start a war, to pick up guns that they, now say they don't believe in, to start a violent war, which they say they're against. Because they were like, yes, we want Black people to be oppressed so bad that we are going to kill others for it. We want Black people to continue to work for us so much and be oppressed so bad that we're going to get guns and we're going to use violence and fight and kill for it. That's what the Democrats stand for. And then when that wasn't enough, they decided to this day in 2025, they're still going to continue to battle for slavery, because they continue to post crap like, who's going to work in the fields? Who's going to clean my house? And admit, and they're going to sit there and say over and over again that field work is horrible, horrible work. It's really hard and it doesn't pay much. But who's going to do it if illegal immigrants move, if illegal immigrants get deported? So you're admitting that it's not good wages and that it's hard work, but you don't want them to get out of that. You want them to continue to work in those, as what you claim are bad conditions, which, by the way, the wages aren't bad. The wages are actually really good. Just FYI. At least where I'm at, it's like $25 an hour, which is really fucking good money. So I don't know what this $5 an hour, that's a stupid thing to say, because nowhere in America is anything $5 an hour. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the truth bearer, but there you go. But I started this podcast because Democrats decided to rip people away from their loved ones and make people die alone. And on top of that, I got a phone call. But now I got a phone call and I don't know where I was. But anyways, rip people away and wanting people. I don't know if this is where I was. This is what I get for doing it on my phone and then getting sidetracked because I know I was talking about the Democrat Biden administration being butt heads during COVID and keeping away facts and ripping away people from their loved ones. And it's just very frustrating because, to this day, they're talking about how, bad it is for people to be working in these fields, but it's not. It's good money, at least where I am. And also, why would you still want people to work there then? If you're admitting or if you're claiming that it's so terrible and it's slave work, then why are you fighting for them to continue to work in poor conditions for no money, for what you claim is no money? This is what I'm saying. So you still want to be... you're still proactive with slavery. It's still on your radar. And all you do is talk about race. So how am I getting called a racist? How is Charlie Kirk getting called a racist? How is Trump getting called a racist? I'm just confused. And when you ask people to back up their claims, they just call you more names. And I'm like, okay, so you don't have an answer. You're just going to call me names, which is, again, the sign of an unintelligent person. And again, I don't think I'm a rocket scientist. And there have been many times that I have said some stupid fucking things, but I can admit it. And I don't usually talk about things that I'm not educated on, or I'll just go, I can't really speak on this because I'm not educated enough. I'm pretty ignorant on this topic. People look at the word ignorant as so terrible. Ignorant, it just means that you're not educated on that topic. It doesn't mean that you're an ignorant person as a whole. I mean, unless someone says those words to you. But if someone just says you're ignorant, they're probably referring to that topic in which you guys were speaking of, So I don't know. I'm frustrated because I look back on some of the things I've said to my mom and when I thought that I knew better, and she knew better. And we do this all the time. We do it with our elders, and I don't know why. We need to respect them. They know. I do respect my elders very much, very, very much. I just sometimes wasn't respectful to my mom, and I regret it, and I miss her so flippin' much. I can't even, it haunts me every day how she died, knowing how scared she was, knowing how she did not want to die alone, knowing that she had to be in that nursing facility. Everybody else got to touch her. Everybody else, strangers got to touch her. The housekeepers, the nurses, the caregivers, the med techs, the doctor, everybody got to be around my mom and touch my mom and talk to my mom and be in front of my mom, but me. Does that make sense to you? How is it that all of these people got to be around my mom? But if I'm around my mom, that's going to cause a problem. Explain that to me. And now she doesn't know that she just thinks I just wasn't there for her. Do you know how much PTSD I have over that? She just thinks I wasn't there for her. She just thinks I allowed her to die alone and not advocate for her and not save her. She doesn't know that I couldn't, and I tried. There were several times I came and I said, and I'm seeing my mom, no matter what, you can call the fucking cops. I do not care. And I did. And again, I've said this before, to their credit, the place that my mom was at did not call the cops on me. 3 times I was like, fuck you, I'm seeing my mom. Call the cops, do what you need to do, but I'm going to see my mom. But I shouldn't have to do that. And so many people lost family members and they died alone and scared because of Democrats. Don't ever allow people that voted for that to forget that. You want to bring up reparations? Democrats are the ones that should be paying reparations because Democrats, like I said, wanted slavery so bad that they fought for it, killing people for it. They said, I'm going to kill over the fact that I want slaves. And then they fought for us injecting ourselves with foreign crap that had only been out. My ex-boss thought that it was the greatest thing in the world because her son's a fucking pharmacist. That's all the more reason why you shouldn't trust them. They're shady. They're a big farm. They're part of big farm. And guess what? Most people that took the vaccination are having a shit ton of problems right now. I'm not. And I never got COVID. Never got COVID. And I'm not having health issues. So there's that. And no one should be forcing people to inject crap in their bodies that wasn't around. It was around for like 6 months at the time that my boss wanted me to take it. She kept saying a year, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It was out at the time, it was in July. And I was like, no, it's been out for 6 months. And anywhere, I looked it up to make sure I was correct. And if you're all about it, great. Do it. You do you, Scotty P. I don't care. But don't force people to put shit in their body, force people to stay away from their loved ones, force people to be fired and censored if they don't want to get injected and if they're trying to get out the truth, just like with gender affirming surgery. We all know now that makes you sterile. It's irreversible. It causes psychosis, which has been proving in the last 9 shootings have all been from lunatic leftist extremists and transgenders. So we know facts, and you should not be promoting people. Why are you so into killing? You're so into abortion. You're really into abortion and selling fetus parts and really into the mutilating of children, into sex trafficking. I just don't into Charlie Kirk and MAGA being assassinated and promoting assassination and promoting bullying and promoting firing and promoting censoring. I just don't get it. It's keeping me up because it's pure evil and disgusting. And my mom died alone and scared, and so did so many other people. And then there's pulling out of Afghanistan. And then there's promoting Hamas, which again, beheaded babies and posted videos of it on their GoPro. And people think that the rift between Palestine and Israel goes back to 1965. Come on. This just shows how stupid Americans are. Do your research. It goes BC, before Christ. And it's very, 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 very important that you go back that far because it is absolutely not only relevant, but it's 100% shapes everything today to where we are today. 100%. So what's keeping me up? Ignorance. Do your due diligence on anything. Buying a car, buying a house, getting a job. Whatever it is. Research. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Make sure you know what you're signing. Don't just follow what everybody else does because it's cool or you don't. Weak people drive me crazy. There's a difference to me between someone that's actually sick and actually weak and frail because they're sick or because they're elderly or they're a child or whatever. But when you're weak because you're weak-minded, oh my God, it just bothers me. When you don't have a backbone, I can't. I can't. There's a difference between being sympathetic and empathetic and being kind and being compassionate and being weak and being a lemming, being a follower. I want people to know the difference. And I want people to do their research on Charlie Kirk and on the Democratic Party and on Donald Trump and just on anything. I don't think Republicans are perfect. I don't think Donald Trump is perfect. I don't think anybody. I'm certainly not perfect. God knows I am so far from perfect. I don't think anybody is perfect. I don't think any party is perfect. I don't think any race, gender, religion, whatever. All of us we just all are eternally learning. But we do need to learn from our elders. We do need to respect and listen to those that might know a little bit more because maybe they've been around longer. Maybe they work in that field. Maybe they've studied that field. Maybe they have the experience. We need to do a better job at listening and hearing and understanding what other people are saying before we comment. So I hope you can I hope people will listen and hear you when you go tell people, hey, you should listen to the Ramblings of an Insomniac. Maybe if you went around telling people that, they would hear you. They would listen to you. They would understand the assignment and be like, Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm going to go binge listen to all of her shows. Even the ones that actually have the intro and outro. Those are, good stuff. Anyways, to all of you that are still listening, have been listening, just tuned in, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you are putting one foot in front of the other and continuing just to move forward. As cliche as it is, it's true. Again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's a good quote. It's not a broken quote. It's a good quote. It works. When you're going through hell, keep on going. You know the song? If you're going through hell, keep on moving, don't slow down. I didn't get the words right, but you know what I'm saying. I also can't sing. So anyways, on that note, thank you so much. Until next time.